Welcome back. Not many people can say they had a major motion picture made about their life when they were just 26 years old, or had 5 million people tune in to see them win a major wrestling title, and millions more to see them on their own E! Entertainment reality show, Total Divas. I am talking about pro wrestler Saraya Jade Beavis, who turned the WWE on its head as the edgy wrestler Paige, and later fighting under her real name for AEW, All Elite Wrestling. Florence Pugh played her in the 2019 movie Fighting with My Family, also starred and produced by Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. In 2014, she became the youngest woman to hold the WWE Divas Championship, but it was just 2 weeks ago, Saraya shocked the sports world when she announced on her podcast, Rule Breakers, that she was walking away from it all. It left fans wondering why. Her raw new memoir is called Hell in Boots, Clawing My Way Through 9 Lives. And that title may hold clues for you. Sports Illustrated said the book is a deep dive into the darkest corners of her life. It is also an inspiring story of how to overcome even when the worst of what life has to offer comes. Joining us via Skype from her home in Los Angeles, a daytime exclusive for the first time, revealing why she's ending her career and what it feels like to own and tell her own story. Please welcome Saraya to the Tam Fam.
I'm so happy to be here.
I'm so happy to have you. You know, you were supposed to be here in studio. Sometimes, as my friend says, life be lifing. But it was important for me to talk to you because this book, when you are telling and owning your story, I'm sure that brings on a lot of emotions because your story has been told by so many, including that movie. How did it feel to put it out there?
Oh my gosh, you know, putting out a book, I didn't realize just how difficult it can be, you know, and it took me over 2 years to write it and, you know, like just get it out there. And it's the most vulnerable I feel like I've ever been in my life. It's like putting out your diary is so intense. I'm not a person that likes to really open up about my feelings, you know, about some stuff. So I'm like, you know what? If I'm going to open up, I'm going to do it the right way and put a book out there. So I'm just really pleased and happy that it's done. I'm so bloody proud of myself. And I'm very happy to be here, Tamron.
By the way, I'm so proud of you because the book deals with the triumphant moments. Of course, millions of people have become a fan. You know, by the way, they thought you were going to be in studio today. I came to work. It was paparazzi everywhere. And then they saw listen, they saw it was me getting out of the car. They were like, wait, that's not her. Wait a minute. But you know, it's so interesting. In the book, you talk about the wrestling life and the side of your life that many people didn't see. You battled with addictions, and you talk about at the height of your young fame. In the book, you write, I was half drunk most days, and particularly whenever we filmed, the more I drank, the more outrageous my behavior became, and the more fans ate it up. And I was a sucker for giving fans what they wanted. You talk about this loneliness, you talk about this emptiness, but you then talk about finding your path to sobriety. And you've been sober now how many years?
Just over 6 years.
6 years.
It's really hard journey, and I always say to people, like, I went to 3 different therapists to get through it, and WWE were really amazing, and they offered me in-house therapy too, which I was so thankful for them. But the most important thing for you to do if you are going through something like addictions is the community, the people that you surround yourself with. That's like, I didn't realize at the time, but the people I was surrounding myself with were very toxic and not great. But ultimately, I made those decisions myself, and I felt like the best decision I made was taking control of my life and taking a step back from the people that weren't good for me and kind of starting fresh everywhere. And that's kind of like the feeling of 2025 for me, actually, is just starting fresh everywhere.
In the book, you write a story about the moment that helped inspire you to get sober. You said a little girl approached you in the grocery store and said she wanted to be a wrestler like you someday, and then she flexed her bicep. You said, I kept thinking of that little girl in the store. What I came to realize is that everyone thinks a role model should be perfect, but maybe the opposite was true. Maybe it was just as important to let people see where I bleeped up to show them it was okay to be imperfect and to make a comeback from that position. I think it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Now, here's the deal. A lot of speculation here because you've been making news. You keep popping up in my social media feed. You announced that you're leaving AEW. Fans can't help but to wonder if you're going to return to WWE. TMZ Sports in January, you said, I appreciate everybody there. They gave me my career. WrestleMania is around the corner, happening in a few weeks, April 19th. Are you retired, or is this Michael Jordan retired?
I'm not, I wouldn't say I was retired, but again, taking control of my life. I thought, you know, in 2025, I'm going to take a step outside of the wrestling world and dip my toes into, you know, stuff like acting and hosting my own podcast and doing all these wonderful things. And like, you know, there's so many powerful women. I mean, you just had Leah Vandale on, you know, and she's one of my wonderful friends. There's so many female wrestlers out there that are doing, you know, wonderful things. I just thought like, you know, I'm going to take a step back and let them do their thing, and I'm just gonna do my thing. Yeah, I want to do some exciting stuff. You know, that wrestling has been my whole life for nearly 33 years. So I'm like, now, okay, I want to try something new. But yeah, maybe down the road. I love the WWE. Again, I owe them my life, truly. Like they saved my life. And so if there was ever something that was really exciting, I would absolutely go back in a heartbeat. Yeah.
There you got the news there from her. Saraya, I just appreciate you joining us. I hope that we can see you in studio. I hope as many people are able to read this book, because whether you are in a wrestling ring or not, life is not a straight line. It is filled with many imperfect corners, but you have to keep the journey going to see how it's all going to play out. And Saraya, we're watching it play out with you.
Thank you.
I'm so proud of you. You can follow Saraya on Instagram. The book is called Hell in Boots. It is available everywhere books are sold. And guess what? You're all going home with a copy